Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get airborne with our regular weekly options live trade brief. This is for Full Throttle members. Actually, one of my strategic partners didn't get a chance to email for Full Throttle last week, and he sent me an email. He's like, "Hey, I'm really excited about this week." I'm like, "That was last week." So welcome to some of the folks that are just joining this. I opened this up for you all. I'm going to go. I'll let you know where the replays are from last week and all that sort of stuff. We're actually full with all of our slots, but we have some test flights available. But before I get into any of this stuff, I need you to do something. Today is August 6th, and this today represents the largest loss of life during the war in Afghanistan. If you don't know the story of Extortion 17, you need to. I put the link in the chat box, folks. But August 6th, Extortion 17 was shot down. SEAL Team 6 was on board. Obviously, an Army crew in the Chinook. They had some Air Force pararescuemen and a lot of Navy SEALs on board. So today, there are a lot of American families who will never forget this day. I'll never forget this day. You turn on our liberal media, you'll see shit about collusion, porn stars, the media, all sorts of stuff. You will not see one mention of the word of Extortion 17. Sons, fathers, husbands, never to be seen again, so that we may be free. So please take a moment to remember those guys, great Americans. So I put the link in here. If you don't know the story of this, there's probably a reason you don't know the story of this, is because it's just we're covering more important things like alleged collusion, right, or foreign interference in our elections, coming from a country who literally installed the Shah of Iran. Hell, we fought the Korean War over. Well, I'm not going to get started, folks, but it's a tough day. I take all this stuff personally. I served for 15 years. I buried 11 of the finest Americans you'll never get to meet. So, especially this whole kneeling thing, this bullshit with the national anthem. If you've never risked your life to come home under that flag, you better as well, hell, not kneel for it. Makes me furious. Anyway, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? All right, guys, welcome aboard. Our weekly you're in the weekly options trade brief, folks. If you aren't a member right now, and like I said, my buddy got his weeks wrong, senior moment like me. I'm getting a little older. But so you're sitting right here. You're in weekly options, which is every Monday at 1 p.m. It's usually only about 30 minutes. I've already sent our weekly options trade out via text. I put calls in there instead of puts, but when the text begins with it's a bull put spread and you see calls in there, I'm going to send out a correction text in a couple moments. So it's a bull put spread. It's already up $500. So that beats a stick in the eye. Nice bull put spread on Amazon. Tomorrow is our primary live trade brief, and that's at 1 o'clock. So weekly options are very tactical. Like I said, we put them on. I put it on that Amazon bull put spread this morning. It's already up $500. I mean, hell, we could get out of it. And that expires Friday. I'm going to take a look at that trade in a couple minutes after we do our brief. So weekly options, very tactical trading. Sometimes we close them out in a day. Sometimes we hold them until Friday. We'll take a look at the bearish trade we put on volatility last Monday and what that could have made in 4.5 days. Tomorrow, like I said, it's the primary live trade brief. Longer brief, about an hour and a half, depending on how long-winded we get and all the trades that we cover. Wednesday, we do accelerated retirement at 1 p.m. Definitely longer-term trades. Raytheon, we're going to talk about the sin stocks like WIN, MGN that got pounded last week. We love CSX as our transport. And then on Friday, we kind of wrap up the week with a service called Analyze Your Trade and Debrief. Rick is up $1,100. Nice. That's awesome. So people are, that's great. Rick, maybe you got a better fill than I did. We'll take stocks at session high. So we might even be out of the Amazon trade by the end of this webinar. So welcome aboard, folks. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, portfolio manager here at Topkin Options. Not going to get into my bio. What I'm going to do for the folks who are just joining us, we did a full week of live trading and training last week. We technically closed the doors on Friday, but here's what I'm going to do. Here's the copy, or here's the replay page. Yeah, Amazon is ripping up. Shit, we might be out of this trade for a couple hour gain. So folks who are just joining me and hey man, I don't even know who the hell you are. Well, I'm not going to, since this is a regular member session, I'm not going to give you the whole dog and pony show, man. You can get that on this page. So this is all the briefs from last week. Last Monday, literally at this time, we put on a bear call spread on volatility. VXX bear call spread. Let's take a look at how that puppy made out. So last week, here it is, August 3rd, weekly options, new, oops, that was from Friday. Let me go to, obviously, last Monday. Some of you guys held it until Friday, which was a great call. I think by the time VXX closed on Friday, that trade was up 1750, about $1,800. So here it is right here. So last Monday at this time, we put on the 33 and a half bear call spread on VXX. And then what? Wow, it's up. Look at this, man. Amazon trade. I sent out the alert at what? 78 cents. It's at 50 cents. 38 times 30. What's 38 times 30? So folks, the Amazon trade I sent out this morning is up $1,100. I'm going to send out a text alert to close that in a little bit. We're going to have a short trading session. But real quick, to the new folks, we sent out a bear call spread last week during this brief. Right there, bearish on volatility. And what happened last week? We were right. Folks, we knock on wood. We're at a 94% win rate for our weekly options trades, folks. We haven't seen performance this good. So look at this trade. We were risking $5,500 right here. That was our max risk to potentially make $2,000. So when I sent out the text alert on Thursday to close it, folks, I was up about $1,500. Did anybody? Okay, good. Yeah, well, if you're in it, remember this one expired this Friday. Remember, I since all the fangs were kind of imploding last week, I didn't want to do a weekly trade. I said, hey, let's go out to August 10th. So you could still be in this trade. And if you are, I definitely get out of it because you're looking at an $1,800 gain. I mean, literally, that's your annual membership paid for rate there. So yeah, that's a big hell yeah moment. Really, really great trade last week on VXX. And then let's take a look at, we might be getting out of Amazon here. Here's the Amazon trade for today, folks. I sent this out this morning before I went and got my ears lowered and got a haircut. That's weird, Shrek. I got it. Oh, you got the text alert, right? That's weird. Yeah, shoot Susie an email. So guys, here was today's trade that I sent out via text. I haven't even had a chance to send this out via email, and we're going to close it. So I was looking to sell 30 of this Friday's 18.7.5 puts on Amazon. That's me saying, hey, folks, I don't believe Amazon's going to be below 18.7.5 by Friday. Well, Wiz, what if you're wrong? Jeff Bezos wakes up tomorrow and announces he's the Antichrist and the stock goes to zero. Well, that's going to suck, but we're hedged. This is called a spread trade. I bought what are called downside puts. So I'm bullish on Amazon. I'm using puts and it's a spread. Bull, put, spread. It's also called a credit spread, right? We were getting paid to do this trade. When I sent out the alert this morning via text, it was at about 78 cents, right? We're getting paid to do this trade. Bull, put, spread. What are the metrics on that trade, Wiz? Well, folks, if you are new, we have what we call an SOP at Top Gun Options, Standard Operating Procedure. It's a checklist, folks. It's a book of rules. With our $100,000 model portfolios here at Top Gun Options, I just came up with a SOP years ago, 20 some years ago when I was a young aviator in the Navy, because we had an SOP. Why? Because trading's a form of combat, guys. So my SOP at Top Gun Options for this portfolio is I don't want to risk more than 5% or, let's do the political science math, about $5,000 on any one trade. Why? Well, I want to live to fight another day, folks. If I got blown out on this trade, we did wake up tomorrow and Jeff Bezos is the Antichrist and the stock went to zero, I'd sit there and go, wow, that's creepy that dude's the Antichrist. Well, but I'll live to fight another day. It kind of hurts, but I'm not getting wiped out. So our risk is known. This is our max potential loss for this week in this trade. Now, if you're sitting there going, Wiz, that's a hell of a lot of money, bro. I know it is. That's based on 30 contracts. This bull put spread is based on 30 contracts. You want to risk $50? You want to risk 50 grand? You just change the amount of contracts. That's what it is. You guys are getting the eavesdrop over the shoulder of a professional trader on what I would potentially do. Can't tell you what to do. That's against the SOP. I'm not a registered investment advisor, broker dealer. I'm here to train you. But once you look at this trade and go, Roger that, Wiz, I know my risk. I know if everything went to hell in a handbasket with Amazon this week, that would be my max risk. Now you can bring your eyes up to here and go, all right, I know my risk. Here is my max potential profit by Friday, $2,300, right? And back when I sent out this trade and took these screenshots this morning using at-the-money volatility in Amazon options, there was a 67% probability of making that max profit and at least 68% of breaking even. So that was the trade setup this morning. And I was out front helping my son Jack mow the lawn, and you come back inside and Amazon's already up $1,200. So we might be closing this trade. I didn't even get a chance to post it to the member page yet. Yeah. So let's try. I try and close this for 50 cents. Now it's up at 55. So let's just do. Let me go to. I mean, that's folks. You can't go. Let's do our percentage count. What was it? $1,100 at 50 cents. 1,100 is what percentage of 2250? I put in a limit order to, folks, anytime you can make 49% in 2 hours is absolutely insane. So let me go ahead and post this. And real quick, folks, as I am doing all this stuff, I know a lot of the new folks are like, who am I? Why am I here? Holy crap, that's a great trade. Let me get through my member session first, and you guys can hang around, and I'll talk full throttle. I'll talk turkey with you guys. I don't want to waste my current members' time, especially my new members. New members, welcome aboard. We got our 50, and we're having a hell of a week. So let me do this. David, I was cutting the grass also and missed it. Well, to be honest with you, we might put on a new one tomorrow in the primary live trade brief. So let's do this. Weekly options update. Close Amazon 1817 and a half, 1815 bull put spread at a 50-cent debit for a what is that, $1,100 49% profit in 2 hours. Nice trade. May add another one tomorrow in the PLTB. Folks, if you don't know what that acronym means, that means the primary live trade brief. Like I just briefed you on, it's every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. A little longer terms trades, but we're going to, I love Amazon here. Let me, let's take a look at the chart here. So these, you know what, let me press send on that so I don't forget about it. Let me fire this missile down range. Try and get 50 cents. If you can't, just get out of it. Okay. So, yep, Tim, we do have that one. We do have a VXX trade that we put on Friday. We'll get to all that stuff, folks. Just everybody chill. Let me send this out to my SMS folks who weekly options, Amazon, AMZN. So right there, within 2 hours, folks, we more or less paid for for half of your annual membership. If you wanted to do an annual membership here at Top Gun Options, that's pretty damn good. It is. Judy, if you are going to send out AM alert, when would it usually go out? Judy, don't know what you mean by an AM alert. The only thing that's sent out daily is our sit rep. I already sent that out. But I'm talking. So Judy, earlier I sent out our normal text alert when I saw the Amazon trade. I put it on. What I'm saying is I didn't even have time to go in here and post the Amazon trade. I was going to sit here and have my lunch and post that bull put spread. I'm still going to post it in here, but it's pretty funny. Howard, everything we do here is recorded. Let me show you what the member page looks like, folks. So here's the VXX trade from last Monday. Here's what the member page looks like. So Judy, this is probably what you're getting at, is I haven't had time today to put the Amazon trade in here with the screenshots. So if that's what you're talking about, I haven't sent it out yet. But Howard, here's what the member page looks like. So I put a little write-up up here like, hey, great trade with Amazon, but I'm going to insert the screenshots of the trade, the trade itself and the metrics. And then Howard, down here at the bottom, you see this is the replay. So 80% of our members work. They can't make the live trading sessions, but guess what? Within a second and a half, I sent out a text alert, got it right here on my phone. So you get a text alert if you're either in the brief or sitting at work. Then later, as Judy's asking, hey, did you send out the email alert? No, the trade's already super profitable. But eventually I will, after this session, post the screenshots of the trade on the member page. And then down here at the bottom, Howard, it takes about 20 minutes for after I get done a session. It has to render, like the recording I'm doing right now takes, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes to render depending on how long it was. And then I'll post it on the member page here. Okay. So does that make sense? I mean, folks, I haven't even started the brief yet. I haven't even done my strategic and operational brief to talk about what's going on in the market, and we're making money and closing trades. So really, really, really cool stuff. Very happy. Dano, excellent job. Money, 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 money. You ready for this, folks? We are at 38 winning Amazon trades year to date and 2 losing Amazon trades for a total of $73,000 in notional profit, folks. That's in Amazon. And the 2 losing trades were when Trump drunk tweeted, although he doesn't drink, so I guess he didn't drunk tweet. We have been printing money in Amazon. And that's just in weekly options, folks. I'm not in our other portfolios. Sometimes in the primary live trade brief, we'll put on a trade. And then some of our members have January 20 Amazon trades on. I was one of the only financial professionals, folks, to not only predict Trump and the market rally, but I also predicted the FANGs would implode. I did this in the fall. I said, get out of Facebook and Apple. They suck. And get into Amazon. And the members who did that and got into Amazon, some of them are up over $100,000 in Amazon. Do not trade Apple. Do not trade Facebook. Those stocks suck. So, 78 cents, Rick. 78 minus. It's about a 28 times 30. Yeah, it's about $900, a grand, whatever it is. If you can get 50, that would be awesome. 78, my fill was 78 minus 50 cents times 30 equals. Yeah, 8.4. Actually, you know what? You're right. I was a couple $100 off there. So here's the point being, now it's already down at 50. This is going to go higher as the day goes on. So my math was off by a couple $100 there, folks. And I execute through TradeStation, guys. So that was all Kentucky windage. So I'm sorry, my math was off by a couple $100. But you ready for this? By the end of the day, after we have our little mid-afternoon, take a break, and the traders in Chicago go get their tin sandwiches, this will be down at 40 cents, a 40-cent debit. So you can actually make more than that. So regardless, guys, 800 and whatever it was, $850 in 2 hours. Can anybody raise their hand if you like $850 in 2 hours? Yeah. Look at that, Rick. Rick got filled at 40 cents, guys. So Rick's, So this thing's ripping higher, folks. So yeah, sorry about the bad math. So great trade for you, Rick. Yeah, absolutely. So get out of that thing. And folks, I got to be honest with you. It's Monday. You could potentially stay in this trade until Friday and collect the full $2,300. I got to be honest with you. I go on and take the money and run. I'm going to teach you here at Top Gun Options. We have an SOP that says what? In a credit spread, if I'm seeing 70, 80, or 90% profit of the credit that I took in, close the damn trade, man. Like the guy in the song said, go on, take the money and run. But I got to be honest with you. If you're seeing 40 to 50% gain in 2 hours, close the damn trade, folks. Pigs get slaughtered. Out of how many of you, are going to sit here and say, I'm going to hold just a little bit longer, and then tomorrow Trump goes, I'm closing Amazon, I'm suing them, I'm sicking the Justice Department on them, huge antitrust, I'm going to put them out of business, and the stock's down 100 points. That can happen. So go on and take the money and run. Okay? So, wow, that was action-packed, and I didn't even give my brief yet. I'm gonna motor through this because tomorrow we're gonna, like I said, it's a longer session than primary live trade brief. But let me just give you where I am right now with a bunch of stuff here, folks. Iranians are taking to the streets again. What started today? The sanctions. So the president, when he pulled out of the Iranian deal, because our Manchurian candidate Barack Hussein Obama sold us down the river. He flew billions of dollars on unmarked airplanes in the middle of night to these mullahs. And if you're one of those retarded Americans who sit there, and I get into fights with stupid people who believe this on Twitter, they say, Wiz, it was their money. He was just giving it back. Let me tell you something, you jerk. Those billions of dollars might have been their money initially. Under Barack Hussein Obama, for 8 years, the Pentagon was prohibited from telling you what I'm going to tell you. Nearly 1,000 American servicemen and women have been killed by Iranian forces. I was in the Arabian Gulf when Khobar Towers was blown up, killed a bunch of Air Force personnel by Iranian forces. Do you think those billions of dollars should have been given to the family members killed by Iranian service personnel? Or do you think we should have put it on an airplane and flown it and given back to the mullahs so they can kill more of us? If you believe that, you're an ass. Period. So these liberals I fight with on Twitter like it was their money to begin with, whenever I point out that nearly 1,000 service personnel in Iraq have been killed by Iranian forces. They make the IEDs, folks. The IRIG, what is it? Iranian Revolutionary Guard. We've been in battles with these people. Obama would not let the Department of Defense or the State Department talk about it. So if you think it was, quote, their money and they deserved it back, you're an idiot. Anyway, so these sanctions are kicking back in, which is going to be a lot of volatility, folks, especially in oil. Tomorrow we're going to talk about oil and volatility and getting long into this whole. This is going to be a shit show, folks. The fall is turning out to be, it's going to be a lot of volatility. We have the elections coming up. The president has already threatened to shut down the government over border wall funding, and we have the sanctions. It's going to get really, really, really volatile. And oh, by the way, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? China. Everybody see what Larry Kudlow said the other day? The president, are you kidding me? The president says he ain't going to. Larry Kudlow said last week, China's $60 billion response to our sanctions was weak. Mr. Trotter, Wiz, this is my first intro to your via Tony Hansen. You are awesome. Thank you for being pro-American. So refreshing. You're welcome, my friend. I got to be honest with you. I lose some people during those rants, and I got to be honest with you. I don't care. The customer isn't always right. I trade my politics, I trade my beliefs, and we've been doing this. I do pretty damn well. I don't take stupidity well, and I don't take people who just are awful people. Anyway, we're in the middle of a trade war here. China launches personal attack at arrogant, deceitful Trump. We are prepared to fight to the end. Now, we're going to talk later in the week, folks, about FXI. How's everybody doing on your bearish verticals on FXI? The iShares China ETF. So I put one on right here, bearish, and what happened? Yay! And then what did I tell you? I told you to do, I always pull this picture up every once in a while. So if you're new to Top Gun Options, I'm going to teach you discipline. Where's my favorite picture? Here it is right here. So 2 weeks ago, the FXI started to rally, and what did I say? Hold. Look at this, up 25%. Scott's loving it. Michelle's looking good. Tim said he's up 10%. So what did I say? I said not only hold the current bear call spread, because here's why FXI went up. If you don't know FXI, it's the iShares Large Cap China ETF. I said short the hell out of this thing. Why did it, literally a day after I said to get bearish, why did it pop? because the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, had to jump in and save capitalism. They were in a bear market. But what did I predict? I said, folks, this is a sugar high. When the PBOC jumps in to save capitalism, eventually the market goes, holy crap. If the PBOC had to jump in and rescue us, it must be worse than they're telling us. And what happens? We added another bear call spread right there. So those two trades are looking nice. And ladies and gentlemen, this thing is heading lower. So we're going to cover those FXI trades later in the week. Like I said, we're in the weekly options brief, and it's usually only 30 minutes. JW is up 68%. Let me show you, since you guys can't see each other's chat, since we have, look at this. So that's everybody's, JW's is up 66%. Patrick's up 48%. So good looking. It looks like some of you guys got into the most recent bear call spread. That's the lower percentages, and these guys are JW, Patrick are looking pretty good. Awesome. Rick, where did I find out about the PBOC jumping in? I briefed you on that 2 weeks ago. I do not have that report. I get rid of this stuff. We're so tactical, guys. If I kept all that stuff from 2 weeks ago, I'd have 1,000 tabs open. So where did you hear about that, Rick? You heard about it from me. This is where you should be getting your news. I brief you on all this stuff. And then what happened today in China? They arrested a bunch of, what did I see? Never mind. But it's not good in China. And the trade war, the adults are still not talking. I briefed you 3 weeks ago. I briefed you that Steve Mnuchin, our Treasury Secretary, ain't even talking to the Chinese. We're not even in the same room, guys. 2 days later, Larry Kudlow came out and said, we're things ain't looking good. And then Peter Navarro, the president's head trade rep, said what? We're at war. So what did I tell you? That's when we started to hedge, man. Trade war fears, trade war fears, trade war fears. Now that we're in a trade war, the market's doing this. One of the wizisms you're going to learn here at Top Gun Options for folks that are new members or you're thinking about joining is the market only cares, you ready for this, when it cares. So in the background last week, folks, what did we do? We hedged. Got long volatility. We have a S&P 500 bear put spread. The market is whistling past the graveyard right now. We used to have 1,000-point swings, 600-700-point swings in the Dow on trade war fears. We're in one, guys. I'm telling you, the market's going to wake up to a lot of this volatility. And remember, markets go down a hell of a lot faster than they go up. Remember our golden arches rally. I called it the golden arches, right? Off the S&P 500, off the 200-day, off the 50-day. Just trying to figure out what we're going to do. And then I think we're going to do that, but we didn't. So when the market doesn't do what I think it should do, guess who's wrong? Me. So this is kind of this, I use the term hold your nose rally. And when I use the term hold your nose rally, that means, yeah, we'll bid this thing up. But we're also going to, as the whole crowd's bidding it up, don't mind us over here at Top Gun Options. We're just going to kind of walk over here to the volatility and the hedge bin and get our ejection seats on. So we have, we'll talk about all that stuff this week. So, but hey man, hold your nose rally. Let's bid this thing higher. So, let me brief you on the rest of the stuff and then we'll be good to go. It seems like a year ago, but folks, the non-farm payroll was on Friday. It's Monday, and it feels like that jobs report was literally a year away. That's how tactical this market is, man. It's nuts. I mean, I love it. If we can get in and out of Amazon trades like that in the blink of, now it's down at 48 cents. So that was just at 45 cents. So there you go. My $1,100 tweet will be correct eventually, or just was correct at 45 cents. Folks, I put in a limit order to get out at 45, right? So what would that be? 78 minus 45 equals times 30. Whoa, that was a little off. If my 100 grand, I'd be buying today. 78 minus 45 times 30. Oh, there you go. Still not $1,100. But put in, and if anything, if you're still in it, just sit on your hands a little bit. This thing is ripping. But here's what did I say? Here's our at 1 o'clock, we have the Chicago and New York traders going out to lunch and drinking. I'm not joking when I say this. Usually you'll learn this at TGO, between about 1 and 2:30, the market usually sells off a little bit. And then from 3 to 4, that's really when the market either pounds higher or lower. You can set your watch to this, folks. It's not a joke. I used to do this. I used to go work out during lunchtime, though, up in Chicago. All right, let me finish our brief here, so I don't want to keep you too long. The biggest thing that's on the radar for the week is CPI, guys, so inflation. If you take a look at the flight schedule for the week here, Tuesday, we get the IBD tip, FOMC, mortgage. Oh, look at this. This is not that I'm going to be staying up tomorrow night, but the China trade balance. If you saw our last trade balance numbers, and of course the liberal financial media doesn't want to write this, we're winning. The president's already knocked our trade balance with a lot of our countries we're in a trade war with. He's knocked it down. So it'll be interesting to see what the Chinese trade balance numbers are Tuesday night, and then what the president tweets out Wednesday morning. A bond auction. When's CPI? Oh, here it is. It's on Thursday. So we're going to get some inflation numbers on Thursday. Wiz, don't even know what CPI is, and why do I care? You should care, and I'll teach you why to care about this stuff. Is because the Fed potentially, not potentially, but raising interest rates for the rest of the year. So this could be a market mover on Thursday. What else? Anything on Friday? Oh, that's PPI. Never mind. Where are you, Karen? You needed to yell at me. I didn't have my glasses on. PPI's on Thursday. CPI's on Friday. What is CPI, folks? It's what? It's consumer prices, right? This is for Wiz, right? They put this on this site because of idiots like me. Hey, why do traders care about this? Consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. That's obviously one of the Fed's mandates. So that's Friday, actually. And whenever you see the word core, if you ever hear the words like, hey, core durable goods, or core means excluding something. So we get two looks at inflation this week. One is X food and energy, excludes food and energy, and then obviously CPI has all of it in there. Okay, so there's Karen. Yes, dear. All I saw was a P and an I there. Makes me look older, Karen. So we're kind of sitting here, and now the Dow's maybe up only about 29. So we're kind of wavering as trade tensions persist. So the market, as I said last week, we're in an inflection point, guys. So here's our M&M, or McDonald's. Are we going to do that? Are we going to do that? I mean, we're hedged in case we do head back down to the 50 to retest it. But, I just don't think everything's sunshine and lollipops. I get it, folks. 80% of people who reported earnings beat. They shall remain nameless. But do you know how many boardrooms I've done consulting for, or companies I've worked with, who, hey, if you can't hit the ball over the net, folks, what do? You lower the net on Wall Street. Yeah, 80% of companies beat, but it was on what? On lower guidance. Remember, these Q1 earnings were epic, and the market shrugged. So what did they do? They did the Apple, folks. Under promise and over deliver. So this market really is at an inflection point. This should put a smile on your face. Companies set to buy back $1 trillion worth of shares this year to keep the market afloat. Now, we can discuss this until we're blue in the face over a beer. Being Gordon Gekko, I think this is awesome. That's great. Being an American, I'm like, come on, man. Can't you throw a couple more $1,000s at your workers as a bonus? Hire more people, acquire a competitor, come up with new products. As an American, as a guy wearing a flight suit, that's what I'd love for them to do. As Gordon Gekko, I really don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I want them to buy back their shares and prop up their share price. Remember? Yeah, thanks, Sharon. it artificially, when companies buy back their own shares, it artificially inflates their what? Earnings per share, so the stock goes higher. So, of course, Democrats are going to run in the fall here on, oh, they use this tax cut to buy back their own shares. Yeah, you would do that too if you weren't stupid and didn't understand trading in the economy and the stock market. So, and we can't get out of this brief without me MFing Facebook again. Remember, so Facebook's already filled the gap from their earnings implosion. It's like that never even happened, right? Oh my God, Facebook's well, it didn't fill the gap. What's his name? Josh Brown on that's half the gap, Josh. I got to write that to the guy on the halftime report on CNBC is an idiot. Did that stock fill half the gap? Or let me put my glasses on. Nope. Exactly, Obi. If I'm a CEO, of course I'm going to buy my shares back. Right now, folks, interest rates are incredibly low. Once the Fed really starts waking up and raising interest rates, they're going to stop their share buybacks. So, man, hey, while interest rates are cheap, you're going to do this. But look at this. Yeah, that guy's an idiot. Because I was just listening to it as I'm getting ready. He's like, Facebook filled its earnings gap. I'm like, holy crap, I didn't look at that, and I just did. That dude's an idiot. If you think that's filled the gap, you're mental. This is a dead cat bounce. Did you see the bad news coming out about Facebook today? Facebook is trying to work with your bank, give us data on your users. So they're trying to get together with banks to figure out your personal spending habits. You can't make this up, guys. This is literally the Death Star. And oh, by the way, what's happened over the weekend? On the same exact day, Apple and Facebook banned InfoWars. Now, InfoWars is a far-right, tinfoil hat wearing type of website. They have some good stuff, and they're also idiots. I'm a libertarian, guys. I'm a recovering Republican, but I'm a libertarian. But look at this. And there's a congressional candidate in where is she, California, where she got banned on Facebook. So do you really want to invest in these limousine liberal tech companies like Twitter, Apple, Facebook that alienate 50% of their base? I don't get into this stuff, folks. I used to love Facebook. I used to love Apple. We used to trade it like you read about. Now it's a popcorn stock to me. What do we trade instead of those two clown cars? Amazon. Let me show you for potential new folks. This is where I said, get out of our Apple and Facebook positions. I'm done. They're limousine liberal, awful companies. Mark Zuckerberg I think he's a cyborg. The only way Facebook truly recovers is when, not if, he resigns. He's got to go. Amazon is up 93% since I told you to ditch Facebook and Apple and get into Amazon. Let's take a look at Zuckerberg since October. Folks, and this isn't just, we've had a blast. Where's October? Oops. It's like 90 years ago. There you go. There's October. What's Facebook done? 10%. And I love all the people who, when I made the call months ago that the FANGs were going to implode, that Facebook and Apple would implode, you wouldn't believe the shit that I took on social media, folks. I said, just hang out. Hey, would you rather be up 93% or 10%? Let me know. So, and I'm with you, man. I think if Elon Musk and Donald Trump, I think if Elon Musk was a better entrepreneur, he'd start his own Twitter, and Donald Trump would jump over to there. Facebook would be out of business in 2 days. I'm sorry, Twitter would. So there's your performance of, if you didn't listen to me and you stayed in Facebook. Let's see how Apple did. The serial under promise and over deliver, folks. Where's October? There's October. Right there. 36%. So anybody, what was Amazon? 93, 36, and 10. Can anybody, would you rather be in that one, or that one? So to all the idiots who laughed at me saying get out of Apple and get out of Facebook and get into Amazon, how do you like me now? Me and Jeffrey Gunlock are doing a victory lap. Awesome. It's just absolutely incredible. Karen, I saw that email. You sent it to me just before I got on the air. I want to take a look at that. So yeah, I should have done a poll. Actually, I do have a poll. What's today's poll question? Let me do this. You ready? Tim, thanks for reminding me. So everybody, I want you to vote in that poll, mainly because I want to take a sip of coffee, and then I'm going to kick members out of here, and then I'll tell potential new members how they can join. Oh, I like the way the voting is going so far. Steve, nice job. You got 40 cents on Amazon. All right, so you did get the $1,100. Sweet. All right, 40% voted, 42% voted. Everybody get in there and vote. Let's see how you're feeling. And then, like I said, I'm sure it feels pretty weird to a lot of you who just got dumped into this webinar by our strategic friend there going, who the hell is this guy? Look at that. Yep, awesome. All right, here we go. Let's close. 60% voted. 61. It looks like all of my members have answered the question correctly. I'm going to close the poll in 10 seconds. Oh my God, I'm not going to get into that, man. Watch the replays from last week. Whoever just said Amazon is a FANG, it is absolutely not a FANG. Period. It's not a FANG. All right, let me show you this. Wait a minute. Close. And I want to share it. Amazon, Amazon, first of all, FANG is a name that a dude came up with. Does everybody know what the bricks are? Some guy came up with the name BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Somebody came up with the name FANG. Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. Amazon is not a FANG, guys. That's me. You can call it a FANG. I really don't care what you call it, man. But it's not, that's not, let's just take a look at what the brokerage firms or what Wall Street calls it. Okay, why can you guys not? But you know, it's fun. I really don't care, man. You can call it what you want. According to Wall Street, Amazon is what? It is a services company in the retail sector. Now, don't get me wrong. They use technology, folks. I use Amazon servers, S3. I get that. I get it, what you're saying. But at the end of the day, it's a services company, right? You will ultimately find that you are wrong no matter what, okay? And your name isn't being displayed. It says, but does it, I don't know who that is. Does it matter if it's a FANG or not? I mean, are we going to argue over fly shit and the sugar? That makes no sense. I don't care what you call it. The fact that it's up 93% since I told you to get in it and to ditch Facebook and Apple is what I care about. So if you want to call it a FANG, man, knock yourself out. I don't know what your name is. It doesn't matter to me. You just keep getting it wrong. Okay, well, let's drop anchor here. It doesn't matter to me, but you keep getting it wrong. I keep getting what wrong? The 93% return versus 36 and 10%, or the fact that I'm calling it a FANG and I don't think it is and you think it is? Yeah, exactly. Everybody's laughing. Oh, LOL. Here we go. Whatever, man. You can call it whatever you want. Just don't call me. Don't waste time talking about FANG stocks. Exactly. Man, call it whatever you want, but we're printing money on it. How about that? So it's not a FANG to me. I'll tell you what, at our next live event, whoever is posting that, why don't you come to our next live event and we'll solve it over a bottle of Camus. How about that? Okay. It's not about opinions where there are readily available facts on the internet. There are readily available facts on the internet. I could look up the Kennedy assassination and dudes in helicopter, in spaceships killed Kennedy. All right, we're going to move on. I'm going to ignore those comments. I don't care what you call it, man. It's up since I've recommended it 93%. You can call it whatever you want. I'm with you, man. So, Noel, here's why I thought Amazon and not the others is all of this stuff. back in the fall, Noel, Mark Zuckerberg. So a year and a half to 2 years ago, what did Tim Cook do when the the San Bernardino shooter shot up all those people, killed them, and the FBI went to Apple and said, "Hey man, we need you to unlock this iPhone because there could be some intel in here to prevent, we need the intel. We want to save American lives." Tim Cook refused to unlock the cell phone of that murderous terrorist because of what? Privacy, right? Privacy. It made me absolutely furious. Why? Because Tim Cook uses child labor in China, because Tim Cook puts government tracking software on his iPhones in China. He's a hypocrite. And then Mark Zuckerberg in the fall did what? Bent over backwards saying Russia bought $200,000 in Facebook ads, and we're going to turn over all this info to the government. 60-some million people didn't vote for Donald Trump because of a Facebook ad. So him fumbling all over himself in the fall to turn over all – I advertise on Facebook. I'm like, whoa, I thought our data was secure and privacy, and you guys love privacy when it suited them. And Twitter started doing the same thing. Jack Dorsey, the other dude that the CEO actually started I'm shadow banned on Twitter. If you're a conservative on social media, and YouTube started banning when you start banning speech, and Donald Trump's Twitter account was shut down for 15 minutes, folks, because of some lady who worked at Twitter who hated the president. As all this stuff started building, I said, that's it, guys. You don't want a socially active CEO. You might agree with it. Here's also, Noel, in the fall, here was Mark Zuckerberg's exact quote, and then we got to move. Mark Zuckerberg's exact quote was, "I don't care about profitability. I just want to do good." I almost fell out of my chair. When a CEO of a public company says, "I don't care about profitability," short the hell out of that stock or sue him if you're a shareholder. Folks, as a CEO, you have a fiduciary responsibility to whom? Your shareholders. Not the world, not the Greenpeace, not the liberals. You have an absolute fiduciary responsibility to moi. Just like Schultz at Starbucks. If you want to turn your company, my company, which I'm a shareholder of, into the largest restroom and needle exchange, I'm going to sue you. So I told Facebook and Apple, I said, we got to get out of it. Why I got into Amazon is, first of all, because I call Amazon the Death Star. It's in everything. It's taking over healthcare. It's taking over food. It is building its own FedEx and UPS. It's the Death Star. It's going into anything. It's taking over everything. And you haven't heard a word, not one word from Jeff Bezos politically. The last time you heard a word from Jeff Bezos politically was when? I'll tell you when. 2 years ago, he was at a conference and he was up on stage and somebody asked him, President Trump was actually a candidate at this point. I think it was still the primaries when there was, 16 Republicans running. Jeff Bezos sat there and said, Donald Trump, what an idiot. I'd put him on one of my rockets and shoot him into space. And they all laughed and ha ha ha. Well, guess what happened? On election night, I'm literally sitting out by my pool at 3 a.m. watching me be right and the futures turn around and me print money for my shareholders. Jeff Bezos sent out a tweet, congratulations, Mr. President-elect, good luck and I love you. Ever since that time, you haven't heard a word from that dude politically. Even when the president was ripping him apart in the Washington Post and it should be a lobbyist and Amazon screwing the post office. The dude hasn't said a word. Elon Musk, Schultz from Starbucks, Zuckerberg, Tim Cook. These limousine liberal CEOs are doing damage to their brand every time they open their mouth. Now, you might support them. That's great. The other half of this country who doesn't believe in all their crap doesn't support them. Why not just be a good skipper, man? Be a good CEO. If you want to invest in socially whatever companies, knock yourself out. There is a risk to it. If the president wins a second term, and by then he has full Trump-like people in the FTC. Did anybody see what's going on with Facebook? I warned you about this. When the government decides to come into your house and they look in your kitchen and see roaches, they are smart enough to go, there ain't just one roach, there's probably a quadrillion. So the FBI, the SEC, the FTC, you name the alphabet soup, they're looking into Facebook. So if you want to jump in this thing and step in and yay, and I think you're wrong. Great, man. If you let's argue about fangs. I really don't give a shit what the hell you call this thing, man. If you think this stock is just waiting to be bought and it's going to be awesome, then buy the hell out of it. I would not. I would be in Amazon. But enough, guys. But Noel, that was a very good question, because some people are like, why'd you make the call to get out of these things? Whenever a CEO of a public company goes, I don't care about profitability, run. Okay, just run. So Jeffrey Gunlock, who runs Double Line Capital, $115 billion. I predicted Trump was going to win and the market would rally. I was right. A month or two after I did that, he predicted that. A month or two or 3 months after I predicted the FANGs and Facebook would implode, he did that. So he's either a member here or he's a very smart guy. So that's the answer to that, Noel. But we're going to talk more about this. This was shocking. Even the folks on CNBC today were like, why isn't the stock implode? Are you kidding me? Let me share this article with you. And then holy crap, man. This was supposed to be 30 minutes, so I apologize. But I like the spirited discussion about the FANGs. I mean, whoever that is, you could call it, I don't care what you call it. It is what it is. I'll show you Friday's trade again. And I enjoy it. This ain't personal, it's professional. So I don't care about the term bricks. I don't care about the term FANG. I don't care what you call it. There's the trade for Friday. It's the 1817 and a half, selling those puts and buying the 1815 puts as a downside hedge. I'm going to send this out in an email, folks, in a little bit. And here's the trade metrics, whoever asked for that. Risking 5,200 to potentially make 2,300. Okay. All right. So let me do this. So current members, you guys are cleared off. Let me talk to potential new members about Full Throttle and stuff like that. You guys are cleared off. I'll see many of you tomorrow in the primary live trade brief at 1 o'clock. So if you're new to TGO, this is the first time you're hearing me. We're battling about FANGs. Welcome aboard. Like I said, we opened up the doors last week with what's called Full Throttle training. Every live trading session we did last week was open to the public. I'm not one of those guys that gives 90 marketing slides and says, hey, pay now and trust me and pay this huge price and join us. I literally opened up the doors last week to every one of my trade briefs. So you guys, you bet, you're welcome. You're welcome, Ryan. Thanks for the Amazon trade. Very nice profits in a couple hours. So, so this is what we did last week, and everything, all the replays are posted on here. So the VXX trade that I did last Monday, all the way up to the bullish VXX trade that I did on Friday. Let me post this replay for you right here, okay? John, that's a great way to call it, FANG. Why call it FANG? I call it money. Yeah, Trotter, Mr. Trotter or Mrs. Trotter, no worries about it. You just heard about me on. That's why I opened this brief. We're technically closed, guys. I mean, we got our 50, but my buddy he thought today was when we started Full Throttle. So here's what I'll do. The annual and the monthly memberships are tight; they're full. But you guys can take if you're interested, you can take a 2-week test flight into what we do here at Top Gun Options. It's 2 weeks for $38. I mean, I was just going to post the annual and month-to-month memberships, but if you didn't get a chance to attend last week and you want to give us a shot and kind of see what we do here, for the price of a really bad bottle of Pinot Grigio down here in Boca Raton, you can get a 2-week test flight. So there's the link to take a 2-week test flight. And I'll also throw in a couple manuals for you as well. So you'll get access to tomorrow's longer brief called the Primary Live Trade Brief. We're going to take a look at Raytheon, CSX. We'll take a look at volatility. We have a volatility trade. What's the VIX doing? Take a look at what the VIX is doing here. And then I'll go through, and I apologize, guys. One of the reasons somebody asked, well, why do you limit memberships? Because of this. As I'm speaking, there's comments flying through the chat box. We like a nice, tight-knit squadron, so we can sit here and talk back and forth. And actually, 2 of our trade briefs throughout the week, we're in go-to training, so we can actually see each other's chat and chat back and forth. We have to have less than 200 people in there. I think we have about 190-ish in each one of those services. But in this one, there's almost 600 people in the room right now. So my apologies if I'm not ignoring your questions. Like I said, I kicked all our members out. Let me take about 5 to 10 minutes to scroll back and look through some questions, and I'll try and answer those. But yeah, here's the link. It's real easy, folks. Go.topgunoptions.com/advanced. That'll give you a 2-week test flight into what we're in right now, the weekly options brief, and also the primary live trade brief, which will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock. If you want more services than that at the end of your 2 weeks, you know what? Hey, Wiz, I want access in all these things. That's called Full Throttle. That'll be a regular Full Throttle membership. And let me just give you that link so you can save that. Oh, how's my screen frozen? Can you guys see that? I didn't know my screen was frozen. This does this every once in a while, man. Go to training. Everybody sees this, right? So this is everything we do here at Top Gun Options. I'll give you the link to get access to that. Let me show you the 2-week test flight. Sorry about that. I hate when this. Yeah, and we'll talk JP Morgan tomorrow as well, man. That thing is just kicking ass. Here's the 2-week test flight I was talking about. You get primary live trade brief and weekly options. Let me post this in here. My apologies, man. Send to all. Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys. How long has this damn screen been frozen? Every once in a while, this go to training hiccups. But there's the 2-week test flight, guys. $38. What else was I talking about that you guys needed to see? Oh, I wanted to talk about the VIX real quick. So right now, folks, the VIX is down a little bit, and so is VXX. Somebody was asking for me to cover the VXX trade. I'm not sure what your question is. What's your question about the VXX trade we placed on? It was frozen for 16 minutes, Steve? Christ almighty. That was stupid. You know what? Let me put. I can see what you guys are seeing. Let me put that screen up, and in case this happens again. What somebody asked about the VXX trade we placed Friday. So if you're new and you didn't get the VX, we put on a bull put spread on Friday. Where is it? Right here. See, this was Friday. I got bullish. So last Monday we got bearish on volatility. We got out of it on Thursday for a $1,500 gain, and then Friday I said, hey man. Let's get bullish on volatility. Something's going to happen in this market to freak us out here, and we got bullish on volatility. What's the question on that? Here's the replay to watch it, guys, right here. It's on the replay page. Not sure what your question is. If your question is, hey, the trade's down a little bit right now, you didn't attend the brief, because I said in the brief on Friday, what did I say? There is a distinct possibility during the life of this trade next week that volatility goes even lower, and that this trade is losing money. It ain't losing money, and it ain't profitable until when? When have you lost money, or when did you make money? That's exactly damn right. When you close it. So, folks, this is, I forget who asked the question. She said, please cover the VXX trade, and she said it a couple times. There, it's covered. It's a hold. I'm not touching it. If anything, it's an even better looking trade today than it was on Friday. Something's going to happen this week, guys. Remember, look, the Dow's already, it's almost flat. We were up, 70, 80 points, and now we're going back down to flat. So the market's starting to give a little bit back. But remember, all we care about is where the trade is when it expires. Now, if it hits your adjust or your eject point, now you scratch your chin and go, all right, maybe I should adjust this trade or get out of it. But there's nothing wrong with the VXX trade. I briefed you last week. I tell you, no, I'm not showing the trade. Is your screen frozen? No, I'm talking about VIX here, guys. Steve did not see the Amazon trade. All right, guys, one last time, and then you can. Here's the Amazon trade. I would not put this on right now, though, guys. This should be closed. You could have closed this for anywhere from an $800 to about $1,000 profit. I was off by about $100 there. So that's the bull put spread. Yeah, Sue, absolutely. Let me put my picture of my spirit animal up here. Where'd he go? Sir William of Wallace. Remember, folks, it's the discipline. That's what I'm going to teach you here at Top Gun Options. Just because that trade's down a little bit, and let me show you the metrics of the Amazon trade who just asked. We were in a primary live trade brief last year. It was Tuesday. We had a VXX trade on like we do right now, bullish on volatility. And what happened? I had somebody in the chat box go, hey, Wiz, this trade's down $2,000 right now. What are you going to do? I'm like, nothing. It's Tuesday. This trade expires Friday. It's bullish on volatility. You close it down. I said, with my luck, the world ends by Friday, tongue in cheek. What happened on Thursday? Thursday of that week, New York Times, breaking news, Jim Comey leaks that the president obstructed justice. The Dow went down, 400, 500, 600 points in the blink of an eye. The VIX went up about 30%, and that trade went from being down $2,000 to being up $6,000, and we closed it for a net $4,000 profit. So when you're trading volatility, folks, you have to be disciplined. By the time this morning when I sent out the Amazon trade, I sent out the Amazon text, went and got my hair cut, came back, helped my kid cut the lawn, came in here, and it trades up, already up $800. There is a world of time in this market. So when you're talking about volatility, a volatility trade, you got to chill, man. Remember, volatility is a heart rate monitor. Okay, let's take a look at the VIX. Look at this. Something's going to happen this week to freak the market out. Every week, up, and nothing's going to happen ever again. Yup. Nothing's going to happen again. Whoop, whoop. It's a heart rate monitor, folks. I could be wrong. This week, Jesus Christ, Ganesh, Buddha, and Muhammad could come back to life, and the VIX go to zero. Peace, love, and understanding break out. So, let me cover that. First of all, whoever said that, welcome aboard. It's your first day as a member. Very, very Marty, here's where you need to go. All of my new members. So the 50 folks that are brand new members, first thing you need to do, Marty, is watch the welcome aboard video. Let me show you. Yeah, so I'll put the link up to the annual and monthly memberships. If you don't want to waste your time in a $38 trial, give me 2 minutes. Hey, Marty, and all the new folks, watch the Getting Started video right here. Okay, that's the first video you should watch, Getting Started. It tells you about our text alerts and all our different portfolios. The next thing you need to do, Marty, is just click on this Full Throttle tab underneath member content. Here are the 8 sessions, man. Iron, Condors, call, spreads, adjustments. Everything is on here. And if you're new to Top Gun Options, folks, and you're like, hey, man, I don't even know what a frickin' call or a put is. Guess what? Options basics. I start, folks, with aerodynamics and weather, man. We start with the basics before we even get in a jet. So Marty, welcome aboard. I'll just put the link in the chat box here. These are 8 training sessions that you get access to, Marty. And we're going to do a new live 8 training sessions in about 3 weeks. Like I said, my oldest son, Matthew's going to college here in about 2 weeks. So I'm going to spend as much time with him as I can. So, watch all the replays of the old ones. And then we're going to do a new one. A new set of 8 sessions, Marty, here coming up, okay? All right. Yeah, somebody just asked, I just want to join. I don't want the free trial or the $38 trial. Go. It's right here, guys. So get Full Throttle. So if you are ready to become a member here and join our squadron, It's right there. These are the annual and monthly memberships, okay? They are on this page. You see this big image here? This just has the annual memberships on here. What you have to do is click on the image. See this big image? Just click anywhere in it. It'll take you to the monthly options as well. If you don't get me wrong, man, I'd love for you to sign up for the month, because 92% of our members who start in a month-to-month call us in about 3 to 4 months and upgrade into what? Annual. So, hey, man, I ain't a charity. I do month-to-month for years. That would be great. But obviously, folks, the annuals are the best way to go. That's the best way to do it. All right, that's enough, guys. I went over by 36 minutes, but let me scroll back here and see if I can answer any cool questions. All right, Harry, awesome. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Brad. Marty, awesome. So if you watch the Welcome Aboard video, you can go ahead and jump into the training videos, like I said. So let me scroll back here. If you were entering VXX today, would you do the same strikes, or maybe David? You might go down a little bit, just since vol did come in a little bit right now. But with the Dow kind of giving some back today, the VIX should be waking up here in a little bit. So yeah, you could probably go down about 50 cents. I'd agree with that. Marty, I just answered that one. Harry, okay, that's good. Sue, thank you for the update. Yeah, you're Rick. When everything else is green, VXX is red. When exactly, Rick. That's when you're. If there's a big down day in the market and all your positions are red, you're doing it wrong, right? You don't have a hedge in there. If it's a 1,000-point up day on the Dow and everything's green and you don't have a red, you're trading wrong, folks. You need a bilge pump, an ejection seat. You always have to have a hedge on. I never went flying in the F-18 Hornet without a hedge, right? Without an ejection seat. So absolutely, I agree with that. That's a good way to say it. Sorry about the frozen screen. Amazon trade, blah, blah, blah. Wow, there's a ton of stuff in here. Foolish amateur new guy. Well, that's a way to Doyle, we are going to talk about CSX tomorrow. We love CSX. What a great transport trade. That is our favorite. Well, that's our only transport. I'm going to brief you on the sectors that we're in, guys. Wow, it's up another % today. So look at that. CSX is the gift that keeps on giving, man. We really nailed CSX. Gap move on earnings, and it has not looked back. We put on a bull put spread last week. This is just the gift that keeps on giving. Love CSX. This was a Gordon Gekko trade, man. I've been waiting to get into a transport just because of the president's infrastructure spending. You know when we got into it? A tragedy. Whoa. Time for it. This is where we got into CSX, guys. See that gap move down? That's when their old skipper dropped dead without a replacement. And then what happened? The new dude's doing pretty damn well. So since we did the Gordon Gekko, hey man, that dude died. This is, why is that showing up? That's a good run from what? 49 up to 73. That's a hell of a trade, man. I'm very happy with that one. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Equity Eric, if you want to join, you can get access to all that stuff. That's all proprietary, man. We don't. If you do not like making money, TGO is not the place. We print money. Thank you, man. Waiting for name. And folks, do me a favor, when you log into our webinars, put your name in there. I'm not going to answer questions from people who don't put their name in there. That just doesn't make sense. But Eric, if you love all that stuff, folks, you don't go to a hedge fund. You don't walk up to Ken Griffin at Citadel and go, hey, Ken, can I see all your positions? I don't know how many times we've done that, and then mysteriously I see some competitive services with a similar looking portfolio. So I kind of unzipped my fly, so to speak, last week and showed you a lot of our positions, and that's enough, folks. That's why people pay to become a member. So Eric, if you'd love to see all that stuff, love to have you on board as a member. There's nothing saying you ain't gonna join and then take a look at all that stuff and split. That would kind of suck, but at least I'm trust me. Do me a favor and go ask a hedge fund what their current positions are. Hey, I need to know all your current positions and not pay them a thing. I doubt it. That's also because before you try and even, I was the chief development officer for a hedge fund, folks. Yeah, I did all my research on people before I'd sit down with them or talk to them or disclose. First of all, you'd have to prove that you're an accredited investor and all sorts of stuff. So, folks, we have a lot of secret sauce here at Top Gun Options, and we don't. So, take a test flight. So. If the name is not showing, that is on your end. I just clicked on the link in the email, and it took me directly without a question name. Okay, that's not the way the system works because everybody other than you has their names in there. So out of the 500-600 people in here, there's one person with the waiting for name, and that's you. So maybe 599 other people are wrong, and you're right. So, all right, guys, I got to run. I will get the don't worry about it, man. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is I'd like to address you by your name. I hate, I'm not going to put waiting for name, Microsoft or something like that. I appreciate calling people by their name. So if that's the way it worked for you, my apologies. But it should have had a place for name and call me Ishmael. Now you get the gold star. That's some funny shit. All right, guys, I got to run. We went way too long, but like I said, one of my buddies got his weeks wrong. We didn't get all 50 on Friday. That's somebody asked, well, why do you have any room? We didn't get all of our annuals. It's July, folks. It's the middle of the year. I think we got 47. So we do have a little bit of room. We didn't get all 50, which is the first time in a while, but it's also the middle of the summer and the dead of the summer. So we do have a little bit of room. So, all right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. And if you want to join and see everything we do here at Top Gun Options, it's really easy. You head to go.topgunoptions.com/getft, and then you can join us tomorrow in the Full Throttle brief. So current Full Throttle members and the new folks that did join us last week, the 40-ish people, I'll give you a little bit more in-depth of a brief about all the stuff and what we're going to be doing, okay? So today was a little fast and furious. What's that Amazon trade at, guys? I don't trade with Options House or E-Trade, guys, whatever it's called. If you're a veteran or a first responder, you can trade free at TradeStation. It is epically incredible. I don't like their options platform. I don't like their business development people. I love the word free. What's the 18? What's this trade at before I head out? Okay, it's up in 50s. But some of you guys got 45, 40. This would have been a great day trade. If you ain't out of it, I ain't out of it. I can't. I got to go somewhere else to execute. We can hang into it, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow. Okay, turn around Tuesday. So you bet, Harry. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll get the replay posted here shortly, and I will finally post the this trade that I sent out this morning. I just didn't even have time to get the damn email ready. So, all right. I'll if you guys have any questions, concerns, oh, by the way, smart remarks, our number is 754-300-1084. So if you guys want to call about memberships, we do have lifetime memberships. I'm not even going to lay that on you, but we did have a couple folks grab lifetime memberships over the past couple weeks. You bet, Trotter, welcome aboard. And I'm glad a lot of new folks who didn't get a chance to attend Full Throttle are in here. Make sure you watch the replays from last week. If this was your first brief and it felt like you're drinking from a fire hose, we did a full week of live trading last week, folks. I just opened up the doors. We're not a service that just does a marketing webinar with 90 PowerPoint slides. You get to watch flight operations, man. You come on the flight deck of the carrier, you walk around, smell the jet fuel, see the mistakes, I ain't no rocket surgeon with everything, folks. We got losing trades, obviously, but we show you the good, the bad, and everything. And if you want to join, after watching any of the replays, you can just click on one of these big green buttons. All right, guys, I got to run. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow for the primary live raid brief. Maybe I'll call them raid briefs. The primary raid brief, primary trade brief. I'll see you guys tomorrow.